Principal, my modula for any teacher when their students are doing well and when they become head of institution, finding modula, the principal of Ladakh Public School, and meeting him after 30 long years. There's no word to express how thrilled I was when I heard he has become the principal. Through my husband, I came to know. And now, meeting him, I don't find much change in Sonamondula's face. Some students change a lot, some don't. He's one of those who has not changed much. Still, I can make him put on a school uniform. So, dear principal and dear teachers and principal of TCV and owner of this Ladakh Public School and representative Kamala and the young gentleman with me from Department of Education who also happens to be one of the students where I worked as a principal. I'm meeting the battalion of teachers who are shaping the future destiny of a nation. I feel truly, truly honored, and I'm really happy that he gave me this privilege to meet you all and talk to you. Thank you so much. Sonamondula gave me a topic, he gave me 2 days back through my husband, not directly, importance of being progressive and a compassionate teacher in 21st century. Now, I don't believe in talking from PowerPoint. I always believe one should speak from the heart, not from PowerPoint. And today, whatever I share with you all is not something what I've read or what I've heard from great educationists. Whatever little I'm going to share with you all is based on my true experience and 37 long years in the field of education. The trials and errors I had to go through as a teacher and as a principal. Principal is also basically a teacher. No one can become a principal without being first a teacher, right? Am I right? Can any politician become a principal? No. Nobody can become principal. Only the teachers like you all can become the principal, head of the institution. So, what I'm going to share with you, I'm sure you must have heard from so many speakers, so many people. It may not be something totally new, but when I share with my own experience and example, I hope it will remind you what you should do as an educator. It's extremely important. Whenever I go to different schools and whenever I talk to teachers and students, I often tell them, greatness of the nation must not and should not be measured with nuclear power, strength of their army, economic power, and the height of skyscraper. That is not the true measurement of the greatness of a nation. I strongly believe that the greatness of a nation depends on the strength and the philosophy of the people of that country and the policy of that nation. That will determine how great the nation is. Now, strength and philosophy, who is going to shape? It's you and I, right, who are in the field of education. All the policy makers, once upon a time, they were students in some school, and some teacher taught them, right? And ultimately, after schooling, after getting education from the teacher, finally they join different professions. They become great leaders, they become scientists, engineers, teachers, what not. Right from shoemaker to policy maker, they pass through the hands of teacher. Nobody jumps from the heaven, right? So what does it indicate? We, the teacher, the educator, we are the most vital, most important. The teaching profession is the greatest profession. Don't ever feel that you're a teacher, you are not doctors, politicians, engineers. If they have become leaders and politicians and doctors and engineers, or a pilot, or a scientist, astronaut, they are our product. We are our teaching society have produced them, right? Therefore, destiny of the nation depends on the education, and education in turn depends on the quality of teacher. If the destiny depends on the education depends on the quality of teacher, then we, teacher, should keep on improving our quality or our knowledge or our academic strength. We should keep on improving so that we can become a better educator, better teacher. We can't become a great teacher unless you keep on learning. Some teachers feel, once you've become teacher, stop learning. I've learned everything. I've got post-graduation, graduation. I've got a certificate. If you stop learning, my dear teachers, educators, then you become vegetable. You have to keep on learning, keep on growing, and then you become fit to educate your students in your class. Very learned people, real philosopher, scholar, they give so much of respect for the teaching profession. People who don't value education, they you're a teacher, as if we are useless. Engineer, doctor, MP, they are so great. Actually, we made them great, right? So, actually, teaching profession is the noblest profession. I'll cite the same once I saw in the YouTube. Do you know, I'm sure you know, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma. Who's he? Who was he? President or vice president? Vice president, not president. Vice president of India. I read once Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma, he was vice president. He's no more now. I don't think he's still alive. He was invited by the king of Saudi Arabia to Saudi Arabia, and when his plane touched land of Saudi Arabia, then when I read the article, they have written king. He came to the airport to receive Dr. Shankar Sharma. And all the big shots, they thought, what? He's breaking the protocol. He shouldn't come here to receive. And to the king, he went as Dr. Shankar Sharma was getting down from the steps of the aeroplane. He went and touched his feet. Then he got inside the motorcade. He told the driver, you go, I will drive. And he drove the car. And later he told in the reception, Dr. Shankar Sharma was my teacher when I was a student in India. I'm citing this example just to show you, if you are a good teacher, you'll be remembered forever. Not only they remember during their lifetime, they'll talk about you to their children. They'll talk about you to their grandchildren, how good he or she was. He or she was responsible in shaping my career or life. And if you are not a good teacher, my God, gone case, you are most sinful if you are not a good teacher, or if you don't take your teaching profession seriously with a strong sense of responsibility. Therefore, my dear educator, teacher, take the teaching profession very, very seriously. I can say this with so much confidence because I tried my level best to be a good teacher. How far I've succeeded, I don't know, but I tried. Because I tried my level best, and when I meet some of my students, some of them have become grandparents. Imagine how many years have gone by. When they still come and meet me with so much of love, then I get a feeling, oh, I wasn't a bad teacher, because they still remember me, right? So my point is, as a teacher, we should take our profession seriously, take pride that you are a teacher. Hope you all take pride, right? Or do you feel, oh, I couldn't become a doctor, so I become teacher, last resort? Anyone here? No? No? Yes or no? Why you all don't respond? Take pride in your teaching profession. Now, I'll be speaking for nearly for 40 minutes, because being a teacher programmed to talk for 40 minutes, with few minutes you can't do justice. So am I permitted? Also, with your permission, I'll share all my feelings, what I've learned, what I wish to share with you all. When you join teaching profession, when you become a teacher, and that includes the principal. Principal is also a teacher. As Sir Mandela said, I was a principal as well as his economics teacher. We principals have to teach. Basically, we are teachers, right? We must and should have certain qualities. Without these qualities, your career is not going to become a success. First thing, whether you are a teacher or you have to be very just, truthful. If that is lacking, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter how smart you are, none of your students are going to respect you. If you are a principal, no teacher is going to respect you if you are not truthful and just in dealing. If you are not very competent, teachers will forgive you. He is not that competent, but he is very truthful, very honest. Same thing with a student. If teachers are truthful, honest, they will love you. Even if you are not very competent in your subject, they will love you. But if you are not having this quality, gone case, do you want to be a gone case teacher or a principal? No, right? Second thing, the team spirit. Whether you are a teacher should have a team spirit, a principal should be able to generate team spirit. Every teacher has the competency. Principal should be able to recognize right additional duty. Subject you have to teach according to your qualification, according to your designation, right? But the principal, when he gives additional tasks to the teacher, he must and should make sure every teacher, every staff is included. Every staff is given some additional tasks. No teacher should feel left out. Principal entrusting some task, additional task, that it boosts the ego, boosts the confidence of teacher. Yeah, the principal gave me this work, so principal believes that I'm capable of doing that. And that is like giving a right dose of injection to boost the energy and confidence of the teacher. And every teacher should have strong sense of responsibilities. No teacher should feel that if the result is good or bad, if the reputation of school is good or bad, it is principal's headache. We have nothing to do. That is extremely bad. Every teacher, every staff should feel this school, Ladakh Public School, is my school. The reputation of this school is my reputation. Education imparted in this school is my responsibility. Every furniture is my responsibility to protect. It's not only the principal. And the principal should also learn to give credit, learn to appreciate the good work of teachers. I often tell my, now after taking charge of Department of Education, I've been telling my principals, don't be confused, in praising your teacher, lavish. Praise the teacher who deserve praise. Pull those teachers who are not doing the work properly. Pull them and set them right, not in public, but in private. If you want to praise, praise in public. If you want to rebuke, do in private. That's extremely important, right? This is what I believe, and I did it, and I found it was working very well. Then impartial, should be very impartial. Sunam Mondila, I'm sure you are like that, my dear boy, right? Now he's a big gentleman, I'm calling him my boy, but he's still to a teacher, every student, when they become grandfather and mother, even then there are boys and girls, right? You have to be very impartial. If you show partiality, whether you are a principal or the teacher, gone case, again, another gone case. Students are very smart. If you are partial, student will not give you the love and respect. If the principal is not if the principal is partial, he will not. You have to be impartial, whether you are the principal or the teacher, right? Now, because during my long years of teaching, I worked under 7 principals. And do you think I had a good time under all the 7 principals? Oh no. 3 principals I remember, they were really great in guiding, nurturing, but the other 4, really terrible. You try your best to be a really good teacher, but that injecting the fear, trying to target, if students love you more, then principal get jealous. Fact. If teacher is more popular, principal feels jealous. What? Terrible. Principal should be happy if that teacher is popular. If your teachers in your school are popular, the principal should be the happiest person in that school. What that means, teaching, learning will take place properly, real education will be imparted, right? That is there. And I'm giving another example I have to give. Some principals are carried away by the flattery. Some teachers, they don't teach, in their classroom work is not up to mark, but they are after the principal. You know, in Hindi we say jamja and jamjis. Classroom work is not done properly, but they are considered the best teacher because they are very good at flattery and jamjagiri. I have been telling my teacher under Department of Education, don't succumb to flattery. Respect and take care of the teacher who do wonderful work in the classroom. That's exactly what is needed. During my long years of principalship, 23 years, 2 decades and 3 years, there are all kinds of characters, teacher. Some, they don't need any reason to be angry with you. For what? They need a special treatment, and I'm not good at giving special lift and treatment. They show a dirty face, don't even wish. Who cares? As long as they teach in the classroom well. Don't wish. Wishing doesn't put the principal up, or not wishing pull us down. What is important is that they should do their work properly, teach properly. That is their main task, not to become jamjagiri of the principal, right? So I'm sure all of you are not like that. I'm just sharing my experience because I have come across so many characters. Because school where I was a principal, we have Punjabis, UP, Bengalis, Kannadigas, Malayalis, Biharis, Madrasis. From all the states we have teachers over that Tibetan. So from different states with a different character, and the principal has to deal with it, right? So what I mean to say is that as a principal, as a teacher, you have to be extremely careful in judging your student, in judging your teachers, right? And as I said, take pride in your profession, and you should have a passion to teach. Passion for teaching. If that is not there, then you cannot become a successful teacher. Oh, there are teachers, as I told you, I've come across all kinds of teachers, some with full of passion, they teach, so active, so energetic. Some teacher outside the class, they are very serious, too humble, but once they enter the classroom, you should see complete change. Their voice, style of teaching, writing on the note, blackboard, complete transformation in the character of the teacher. So we should have such teacher who love what he or she is doing. And that's extremely important in my observation. And you all examine it, experiment, and see whether what I said is true or not. Right? Now, I was all kinds of teacher when I said, in my long career, like in Moncourt, where I was a principal, nearly 85 teachers. I don't know how many of some Ondula is having, 85 teachers, and in different schools, different number of teachers. Each teacher, they have their own characters. You need a different technique to handle them. So there was a workshop conducted for principals of Central Tibetan Schools Administration, headquartered at Delhi. Conference or the workshop was conducted in Delhi, and you know, all kinds of resource persons come, blah, 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 and then they go, again come. Some are extremely good, some average. We think, oh, why did she come as a resource person? I'm sure you must be thinking, why did she come? She bored us to death, right? Hope I'm not boring you by sharing my experience. Then one resource person said, Theorem X and Y should be applied to handle the teacher. I'm a bit straightforward by nature. And the director was a very, very strict SB If we principal put some stupid question, we are banked after some time. When this gentleman, resource person, theorem X and theorem Y, these are the two theorems to handle your teacher. I got up and I said, sir, only two theorems. If there are 85, I think we need 85 theorems to handle them, not just two. He said, oh, right. Let me think over. So he didn't say anything. My colleague principal banked me, our principal, during tea break. Oh God, Didi Chandra gone. You will get a good banking from a director for saying such thing to the resource person. I said, let him bank what to do. This is what I felt. Thank God, Sri S.B. Datta late, he expired last year. He didn't bank me. I was so thrilled because no banking was done. I said what I wanted to say. I was happy. Had I not said, I would have been unhappy not being able to say what I wanted to say. So what I'm trying to say is that I have classified during my principalship into 4 categories. One category, I shared this experience with DCV, our teachers also. What I have classified only into 4 categories, because many categories is very confusing and may not remain in your head. This is mainly for those principals and of course teachers. One day you become principal, it will help. First category of teacher, they do their duty so dutifully, so calm, quiet, don't comment on others, they do their work. Perfect silence. Second category, they do lots of work. Then they will say, oh, I have done this, I have done that, I have done this. Look at that Mr. So-and-so, Miss so he does nothing, she does nothing. I'm the one who's doing everything. So second category, I'm sure you all have something like that, right, Ramadullah? Second category, does the Lord speaks a lot. First category, does everything but will not say a word. Third category, what they will do, third category will not do anything. First category does lot. Third category will not teach properly, will not work sincerely, and then he will also put his finger on his mouth. He won't do, he will not comment. Fine. That most dangerous one, Suramandula, most dangerous one, they won't work, they won't let others work. Because when he's not working, when others are working, his non-performance, his lack of dedication is become more prominent. So this fourth one, the most dangerous one, is he will not let others work. He would work, he will not teach properly, he will not listen to the principal, and he will keep on harping and telling them, don't, relax, enjoy, take your salary, but all the principals. Fourth one is very dangerous. Keep an eye on them, set them right. Principals should not be over polite. We have to be good, we have to be polite. We have to take care of our good teachers. But those who are not working, take them to task. Don't have fear. If you don't take them to task, those who are working, they will not work. Principal doesn't say anything, he is like that. We are working so hard, he doesn't have the guts to set right. So those who are working also become a little lethargic. So these four categories, we have to be extremely careful, principal and the future principal educators. One day you all will become principal, right? So take care. Now, when you become a teacher, when you teach in the classroom, we have to plan a lot. Don't simply walk in and walk out. You have to plan. And some of you may have been teaching a particular subject for 10 years. For you, it is a new thing, not a new thing. For 10 years, you repeatedly taught that subject, that lesson. But the batch to which you are teaching, they are fresh every year. You may be getting bored teaching the same thing, but to them it's a very new Greek and Latin, right? So as a teacher, you have to enter the class in such a way as if you are going to share something very interesting, something very new to arouse the interest of your student. You understand? You may not be very enthusiastic, but you have to. We teachers are more or less actor and actors. We have to, depending on the situation, we have to enact to create interest in in the teaching learning process. And therefore, if you're a teacher, make sure that student in the primary section reading, even in the highest reading skill, listening skill, writing skill, and speaking skill and comprehension skill. There are 5 important skills. I thought I may forget those skills, so I've noted down. All these skills are extremely important. You as a teacher make sure that these skills are developed in your student. Then, do you do team teaching? Team teaching. So modular. Team teaching. 2 teachers teaching together in the same class. Class 10, team teaching. Oh, mathematics. Team teaching is also very good. I did lots of team teaching when I was a principal. One Mr. Goldjohn, he's no more. He used to teach business studies. So what we do after 6, we have special classes being conducted for students. He will teach for 15 minutes. Then he will take rest in the class. Then I get up, I teach. After 15 minutes, he will. When 2 teachers are taking turn and teaching with their own style of teaching and example, students love to learn. They are so alert, they never get bored. So team teaching is extremely important. Every day you can't do it, but one has to do justice to your subject. Sometimes team teaching, if it is done, it will be wonderful and a good learning outcome you can see. Team teaching is extremely important. And another, peer teaching. Peer teaching, your children do it? I have been telling a student of many schools, all the students in one class are not equally bright, equally good. One who is good must teach those who are not very good. And better learning takes place when peer teaching is done. Children feel relaxed because their own friend is teaching them. If they have doubt, they will ask, no fear, right? And for this, who is a bright, who is teaching, for him, teaching his friend, this is the best revision. Revising by self 10 times will not make him remember as much as he can learn or retain when you teach your classmate. So please, my dear teachers, encourage your class student to peer teaching, and that will improve the learning outcome, and that will help you to produce better result also, peer teaching, right? Then, class observation is also there, one teacher observing another class. That also you learn a lot. Now, some teacher, they keep on blaming the student. ये गधा लोग कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता है, ये वो ये. Actually, if students are not learning, if students are not able to understand, ये गधा वो नहीं ये है. That means something is wrong with my method of teaching. Therefore, the students are not able to learn. You can't make student donkey, gada. It is you who have failed miserably creating interest, making the learning interesting. If you are not able to transmit, and if students are not able to learn, that means your method is under. Okay? Therefore, we have to keep on understanding that at some time, as a teacher, sometimes with the full spirit, I prepare everything and walk in. Some of the students may be dozing, that boring expression, they have full spirit to teach. They demotivate you. Sometimes students are very eager to learn a new chapter, but teacher walks in and sits on the table. आज मूड नहीं है, आप लोग जो भी करना है कर लो. Then you have killed the spirit of learning of student. Therefore, teaching learning is two-way process. Therefore, even if you are feeling a little down, act as if you are very interested in your teaching, as if you are going to share something fantastic. And when you are full spirit, your student will also become more alert. Okay? Another thing I've observed during my principalship, and some students, they learn and don't even sleep during exam. I remember one of my boy, now he has become a great doctor. He was becoming thinner and thinner before examination. March is approaching, my poor boy has become thinner and thinner. Then one day I called him, I told him, I have to get good percentage to get the reserve seat of MBA. We have limited MBA seat in Department of Education. He said, for that I have to work hard. I told him, no, unless you sleep and rest, getting high marks, forget, you will fall sick. You won't be able to write your exam properly. You may not even be able to write, but you'll fall sick. And if you're mentally not fit, not sleeping whole night, how can you write properly? So you as a principal, as a teacher, should observe your student and give them guidance in time. Save them from making a big blunder. Have I made it clear? Okay. It's extremely important. Then there are students, oh God, they'll sit with a book, say next day, oh, last night from 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock, I was studying. 8 to 12, how many hours? 5 hours. How much of learning has taken place? Nil. So I have to tell them it's not the amount of time you spent, it's the amount of learning that you have done. Learn seriously. In 1 hour you can learn a lot. Sitting with a book and dreaming, thinking of something else, and the satisfaction, I sat with a book for 5 hours. What's the use? Isn't it? So please tell your student, learn. Learning is more important than number of hours you have spent sitting with your book. That point is a common mistakes, common thinking of so many students. So you as a teacher, please guide them. Okay? And some are learning but don't know how to learn. So you teacher have to teach them how to learn. That's extremely important. Then another thing is that common mistake we teacher do is ridicule the student. Some in class 8, if they don't know some basic thing, then they say, oh, कैसा पहुंच गया class 8 में? आपका तो class 5 का ये नहीं है. With this remark, you are killing the spirit of student. Who knows everything? Who is perfect? We also forget. Right? So why you ridicule your student? Don't ever make a mockery of your student if they fail to give you the right answer. Don't ridicule. Keep on motivating. Keep on encouraging them. That is the duty of every good teacher. In Dalhousie, Sunam Odila may not remember, in Dalhousie we had few students. No matter how much we struggle, how much we advise, that Dalhousie was my first year as a principal when I joined Dalhousie. Then, if you keep on thinking, you get some idea. What did Sunam Odila may not be knowing. I told few teachers, Pema Gantela, Sadem Pinzola, and there are few teachers, and few Indian teachers also. I told them, you are going to adopt means not literally adoption, adopt Tashi. And some Pema Gantela gets another boy, another teacher gets every teacher has adopted. It is not necessary that you have to be the subject teacher or of that class. Now every teacher keep on paying attention to whoever they have adopted, how much you have learned. Are you having some problem? Tell me. Like that, if they have problem, so that those students who are adopted by teacher, they feel, oh, I'm better. I have a teacher who cares for me, who loves me. I better work hard. I better not let her down. And that made a big difference in Dalhousie. That was my first principalship station, right? Then, Principal Sunam Odila said, 21st century, important being progressive and compassionate teacher in 21st century. Now, 21st century is not very different, except one difference. Corporal punishment banned, right? Now, can you carry the stick and beat student left and right? No. You'll be answerable, you'll be in trouble. When this corporal punishment was banned, many of my teachers, they came to me, they said, Madam, our hand is tight, now we can't beat, how to correct this student. I told them, my good God, how is your hand tight? Do you think corporal punishment is only way to reform, to motivate, to encourage? There are hundreds of ways to inspire, educate, take care of our children. Beating is the last resort. In one of the schools, I will not name, then he will remember that teacher. That teacher, whenever I often see him in Dalhousie corridor. He will always walk with a bamboo stick. Always, if I call him, he'll come again with a stick. Yeah? You remember? Damdi Yavla Mare. Crank of economics kicking peace with it. That's the secret between me and Ramadula, not to be shared. Then whenever I call him, he'll come with a stick. Then I told him, do you think carrying that stick will show you as a strict teacher? Do you want to impress me? No answer, of course. I said, your stick doesn't show strictness. This stick that you're carrying reveals your weakness. That means you're not able to control or discipline or make your student listen to you unless until you have your stick. That reflects your weakness, not strictness. Then he kept mum. No, we principals are a little bossy, so teacher dare not give back left and right? This is some of the teacher think, carrying stick. You as a good teacher, without stick, with your dignity, with your method of teaching, you have to, students should love you, students should listen to whatever you say. When they see you from far, they should, they try to set their tie properly, tuck in their uniform. That shows you are a real good teacher, not the stick. I hope no one carries stick. No. Thank God. Thank you for not carrying stick. Now, every student, every teacher, every principal, they have a strength and a weakness. We should strengthen our strength, weaken our weakness. In self, as a principal, as a teacher, you should strengthen the strength of your student, weaken the weakness. If you keep on strengthening the strength, slowly the weakness will disappear. Don't ever tell student that you are not having the intelligence, you are not capable. No, keep on motivating them. If they give answer, if it is partially correct, so partially correct, that part is correct, but this part, I think you should say this way. Likewise, in the morning assembly activities, some coming for the first time on the stage, they feel a bit scared, they make mistakes, but such student, when I was a principal, I used to call them to my chamber after assembly. I tell them, oh, this is the first time you came on the stage. Your voice was really good. Your pronunciation was good. Your body language was good. But those areas you should improve. I'm sure next time when you come on the stage, there'll be big change. And they are so happy. And then you find changes. Instead of class teacher and house mark banging them, you pull down a house mark. You made a fool of our class. Please don't ever say that. Children are children. You keep on encouraging them, motivating them. Then in the years to come, they'll remember you for the pain and patience that you have in molding them. Please keep it in your mind. Another thing is that respect students' opinion. We Tibetans also have such a bad habit. I'm sure we are similar in our culture, religion, in everything, Ladakhis and Tibetans. Children, if they say something, keep quiet, you are pure, kasam. And if they say something, it is, this is meant for elderly people, we are the one who should take decision. You shouldn't say anything, keep quiet. We shut their mouth in such a way that they lose their confidence. My experience shows, if you encourage a student, if you respect their opinion, they bloom. There are so many examples I can give you, but let me give you one example, the real example, not a dream or imaginary. In one school, one boy of class 7 was very naughty, very indisciplined, and every teacher used to come to me, Madam, teacher has to cry to principal when they have problem, right? Madam, call his parents. He's so indisciplined, he doesn't do his homework, he's so careless. Teacher after teacher after teacher complaining to me about that particular boy of class 7. Then if I don't call, the teachers how good you all are, blaming principals. Kuch bhi nahi, bolo kuch bhi nahi karta hai. And you all set us right through your backbiting, right? Am I right, principal, teachers? So one day what happened, the story goes like this. Then I asked, is there any boy or a girl from the same camp? So I can send a message through that student to call the father. If I call the father, teachers will be happy. What they've asked, I've done it. Then they said one boy is there of the same camp in the same class. Then that boy came. He was so class 7, quite a shorty type. He came. He told me. Then I told him, "Is he your campmate?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Please do me a favor. When you reach camp, you call his father. Tell his father to meet me tomorrow." When I looked at his face, surprised look in that young boy's face. "Madam, why are you calling him?" I said, "All kinds of complaint coming from every teacher, so I have to talk to the father." He said, "Shall I tell you something?" "Chotu, giving me a long lecture. Shall I tell you something?" I said, "All right, tell." "No use," he said. Don't call the father." I said, "Why?" "The father itself is a loafer, every time roaming about and not even staying at home. He has no control over the children. No, don't call. In my opinion," he said, "you should call that boy your advice. I think that will be better." See, class 7 boy lecturing me, old lady. Then I said, "Okay, if this is what you suggest, I will listen to you. Don't call Pala. You call that boy, I'll advise him." When I listened, respected his opinion, when he walked out of my office, he was short, but he became a little taller. With the style, he walked out. It boosted his confidence. But I, as a principal, listened to him, boy of class 7, when he gave me direction. Don't call, talk to that boy. Then that boy came, I advised him, and then he went. My point in relating this incident is that we teacher, the principal, should take the opinion of some student. If they voice their thought, give their suggestion, welcome. Don't shut them down. Don't say, "Who are you to order me? I know I'm big enough to take decision." No. They feel so happy and their confidence level goes up. So I don't mean a stupid suggestion. I don't mean you have to listen. Your suggestions are fine, but I don't think it's going to work this time. Simply say like that. But don't rebuke that boy or a girl, okay? That's one thing. Another thing is that we teacher and principal always fail to differentiate naughty and indisciplined and bad behavior. Naughty and bad-mannered, indisciplined.